What's going on, guys? Just wanted to do a quick video today showing you how to RIT dye G10 handle scales that you may not like the color of. And I believe this technique will also work for FRN and FRN CP handles, though I have only done G10 so far. So it's pretty easy. You know, I did some research on this, kind of figured out who the gurus were in terms of handle dyeing and who's done this before, and kind of came up with a consensus as to what was the right way to do this versus, maybe some people who didn't get some great results. So anyways, I have this new S110V Paramilitary 2, and these handle scales are just a little more purpley than I like. I believe Spyderco calls this a royal blue or maybe a midnight blue, but to me, in my eyes, it looks to be a little bit more purple than I like, so I'm going to go ahead and try to dye these a little bit more blue, just for my personal preference. This is a knife that I plan on keeping for a long while. It's going to be a user of mine, so there's no real concerns about, reselling or trading this knife. It's going to be with me for the long haul. So please keep that in mind. If you want to do this to your knives, make sure you do it to knives that, you plan on keeping. Not to say that someone else may not like what you do to this knife, but realize that you're customizing it for yourself, and you may have a little more trouble trading or reselling that knife down the road in the future if you choose to do that. So something I'll mention, I think some people kind of maybe don't realize or think about when dyeing G10 handle scales and things like that, is you're limited by the color that the handles start with. So if you have a G10 that's dark in nature, you're never going to be able to, get the handles a shade of color lighter than what you already start with. So for this particular knife, I'm going to shoot for, I don't know, maybe kind of more of a midnight blue, or kind of like a light navy blue, I think is what I'm going to do. And to do that, I'm going to try this aquamarine color here from RIT dye. I've used this before on some gray G10, and it came out to be a nice kind of not a neutral blue, but just kind of a nice bright blue, and I really like that. So we're going to give that a shot and see how this turns out. So to start with, you guys are going to need some sort of a pot. Stainless steel pot is great. Use an old pot, guys. Don't be going and getting your wives good cookware or something, because that's a good surefire way to start a fight, and you don't want that. So not that this stuff doesn't clean up too well, but just get an old pot, that no one cares about, and just do it, because I'm not sure if this stuff is food safe. It's probably not. I mean, you don't want any residue of this in your food or cooking. So start with that. You need an old pot. And the recipe here kind of varies a little bit in terms of what you want to do, but I'm going to tell you the recipe that has worked well for me so far, and that is I use about a quart of water, which is 4 cups of water. I'm going to do about a half a bottle of this dye, which is an 8-ounce bottle, so that's going to come out to be 4 ounces. And I do a quarter cup of just distilled white vinegar, and that helps with the dye to really kind of infuse into the G10, makes the color more even. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So I already have in my pot here 4 cups of water. So I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to do the dye next, because the vinegar kind of stinks. So I'm going to deal with that the least amount possible. Alright, so we're going to do half this bottle. It's a quarter cup here, so that'll be 2 of these. Wait, hold on. Made a little bit of a mistake there, guys, but I'm glad I did. You're supposed to shake this up before you start pouring it, so make sure that lid is on there good. Just give this a good shake. About 5 or 10 seconds. Alright, I think that's going to be good. Alright, so there's 1/4. half a bottle of that. Go ahead and just kind of mix that around there quickly. And guys, for your cleanup with this, I recommend using like a laundry tub, utility sink. If you guys have, you know, nice sink and stuff in your house, don't wash this out in your wife's sink. Again, the more we piss off our wives and significant others with our knife addiction, the less inclined they will be to allow us to get more knives and stuff like that. So we got to stay on their good side, right? All right, let me see here. I should have brought something to put this in. I'm just going to set this on a bag here while I'm doing this video. That way I don't stain anything in your house, and the stuff will stain your fingers for a good long while, you know, so be careful with that also. So next we'll get our vinegar. Hate the smell of vinegar. Reminds me of Easter, you know, it's kind of like Easter egg dying. Alright, so here's a 1/4 cup of vinegar. And that's it. So all you have to do, guys, is now heat this up here on your stove. You don't really need a super high boil, but you need it basically just to kind of simmer. So you don't need a rolling boil on this. Just get it started. My stove will start here. Here we go. All right. So I just have this on a kind of medium-low heat to start with, and we'll go ahead and cover this in a second. Just going to take a spoon here. I will tell you guys, this dye doesn't really stain stainless steel very much. It will come off, so I'm just going to use a spoon here. Just kind of give this a mix. Alright. It should be good here, guys. Alright, so we're going to let this just warm up here, just till it starts simmering, and then I'm going to come back at you with a second segment showing, you know, the actual G10 handles here, and how long to keep it in there and all that good stuff. So I'll be back here in a little while.